Hey guys, thanks for selecting my video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial on how I did my Pop Smoke braids, RIP to him. Today all you're going to need is simply some scissors, some combs, my favorite, the Gots to Be hairspray, some Gorilla Glue, or gel I should say, braiding hair color of your choice, and a blow dryer, and also some rubber bands. Now, I'm going to make this tutorial quick. I didn't go into too much detail on the video because I didn't want it to be too long. But if interested, I do have the steps and I can definitely redo another video showing you a bit more detail on how to achieve this look. I'm not all that too good with explaining things, especially directions. I'm more of a show you kind of person. But if needed, I'll be more than happy to try to break the details down for you guys a little bit better, especially if you're new to this or new to braiding in general. Now, what you've seen here is me basically parting the hair. A lot of people like to do them in different sections. I chose to do mine's with, if I'm not mistaken, I had a total of 6 or 7 braids. Yeah, I think 6 or 7 braids. I can't even count right now, but you do however many you want. And also, honestly, because I was not sure how I would look with this kind of style, I was a bit nervous, but it was a challenge that I wanted to take on. I've never done these kind of braids before in my hair, let alone feed in braids before in my hair, so this was definitely a challenge. But if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I'm always down for a challenge, just to show you guys that it doesn't matter if you're new to something. Always try it, always give it a try. Even if you're not the best at it, at least you tried in this case, which is what I'm going for. With my hair, it did take me a little bit longer to part, only because I have about 2 or 3 inches of new grown hair, I should say, and it hurts a little bit, or more, I should say. But aside from that, I'm just parting the hair. You can use a stick comb or any other comb that has a good point to it where you can easily part the hair. With memory, I like to fill out the part to kind of see if I parted it correctly or not. If it feels right, then I let it be. I did notice towards the back that I could have straightened up certain lines at one point. It was not terrible, but you know me, knowing that it's like that and I could have did better, it irritates me a little bit. But if that happens for you, don't worry about it, don't stress. And also, another good thing to have is a mirror. I do have one and I did try to use it throughout the video, but a lot of the times, 90%, I mostly felt for the part. Once you have all your parts section, you can either braid it down or twist it down. I took the easy part of just twisting it down because it's easier to undo and less work. Once you have it done, you go ahead and you pull out your first section that you're going to braid, and you're going to apply some of that Gorilla Glue to it. You're going to you're going to apply it on the outside of the hair. Now, what I chose to do was my edges first. You can do this before or after, but I was kind of trying to get like a feel of if my edges were working with me today or not, because where I have that weird thing going on where my edges constantly come and go, depending on how my skin is for that day, if it's dry or, they might do magic and disappear on me. So I'm not sure. So I like to always attempt to do my edges first, just so I can kind of see what they're looking like. But in other words, once you have that completed, and that's if you decide you want to do that first, you go ahead and you position it the way that you want it to lay, and you add a bit of that Gots to Be spray on it because it'll make sure that it stays in place while you're braiding your hair, that section, I should say. Now, I went ahead and I took small pieces of the braiding hair and I put it all over my bathroom, believe it or not. I need to invest in one of those raw things that I saw it on Facebook. They said that it's on the website on Walmart, but I'm going to look into it to see if I can go about ordering one, because they say it's good for when you're doing braids. You can put the pieces of hair, fit at least 10 to 12. So I feel like that would be more convenient. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the video. What I'm doing is pretty much starting the braid off like I would do a normal braid, and as I'm going, I'm taking a piece of hair and I'm putting it over the braid, grabbing one side of the hair and making sure it's only one piece of it, and then I take the other piece and I throw it over and grab it from behind, if that makes any sense. And I pretty much keep doing that over and over, going under and over with the other piece until I have it at the desired amount that I want it to be. You don't want it to be too thick. I did find myself having one braid that was a bit bigger than the other, but honestly, I did not stress it because it was my first time doing it and I did not expect it to be perfect. So again, if you're doing this and it's not coming out the way that you envisioned it, just remember to tell yourself that you're trying something new that you've probably never done before or you're not that good at. So that alone deserves some points. So just keep pushing and keep going. Now, what I'm going to do with that braid is I'm not going to braid it all the way to the end because I am going to add some color to it. I had some pieces of hair that I had left over and I decided, hey, why not use it? Add it at the tip. It'll give it kind of like a cool look. So you'll see that later on in the video when I do apply that. Now, I'm basically just looking here to make sure that that braid looks all right. I was satisfied with it. And part of me wanted to redo it, but then the other part of me just kept reminding myself that, hey, you're trying and you're new to this, so just keep on pushing. I pretty much did the same thing to the other side of my head, which was before do my edges before actually starting that piece. So again, whichever one is more comfortable to you, by all means, go ahead and do that. Once you have your edges laid and sprayed down in position, you go ahead and you start working on that braid. As you can see, I have my clips on there. Only reason I have my clips because they're optional. I have my clips there because as you can see, my hair is short. And if you have shorter hair, I definitely recommend to use those clips because it helps the hair stay in place and you don't have to worry about any pieces of hair sneaking out. Now, as I did each part or each section, I should say, if I noticed any parts that felt a bit different or that it wasn't completely straight, I kind of retouched back on it. So you'll definitely see me do that. If not, I did a lot of that. So if you find yourself doing it, it's absolutely okay. Now that I've gotten the front done, I basically work my way through the back, repeating the same steps that I was doing before, which is pretty much parting down, making sure that that part is completely straight as best as I can before I move on and start braiding it down. Once that part is in fact, straight and you feel that it's okay to move on, you go ahead and you apply that gel again on the outer side of the hair. So basically all outside the hair, you don't have to apply any to the tips. If you do apply some to the tips, it will make it a lot harder to grip. So again, just add it on the outer sides of the hair, if that makes any sense. So if you're watching the video, you'll see as I demonstrate or try to demonstrate me applying it and then basically brushing it. And another thing, if you have natural hair, I highly recommend while doing this, once you apply the gel, to also spray it with that Gots to Be spray and then kind of like pull the hair up like I'm doing and blow dry it so it can kind of stay straight, because it makes it so much easier. I promise. It makes it so much easier to grip on, but don't put too much and don't let it dry too much because you don't want it to be hard to braid down. Now that pack of hair was, if I'm not mistaken, the third pack of hair that I opened up. So it took 2.5 packs to do this style in my hair. This hair, I got it from Amazon. I'll be sure to drop the information if you like. I did see a lot of good comments and bad comments about this hair. I must say I was not disappointed. I was a bit nervous about it, especially when you see bad comments. But always try to look at the good comments, how many of them is there, and versus how many bad comments there is. So again, I'll definitely say I wasn't disappointed with this hair, and I'll definitely order again. I'm not against that. All right, now here's the part that I don't know exactly how I'm going to explain this to you guys. Like, I'm more of a show you person than a tell you person. I'm pretty much just taking a small section of that colored hair that I was telling you guys about, and I braid down the actual hair up to a certain extent. Once I've have it braided down enough, I take that colored hair and I apply it from the bottom, not on top like I was doing the braids before. You're going to apply it from behind the hair, that way it could blend in. Sometimes I did need to try to reapply, take it out and reapply it again, only because I have that piercing on my hand. So I did find myself a bit of a tangled situation, I guess. So so definitely put it underneath. You don't want it to be visible, so don't apply it on top, apply it underneath. I pretty much did that throughout the whole entire hair. I felt like it was something different, and it was a kind of look that I felt like if I'm gonna go out, I might as well go out all the way and, and make it unique. Now, once I was done with all the braids, all I basically did was boiled some hot water, which I don't have it on camera. I boiled some hot water and I dipped the ends just partially halfway, not all the way. And you want to thoroughly dry it with a towel. Once I was done with that, normally I would apply some mousse to help it lay better, but I did run out of mousse, so it made it a bit difficult. So all I did was just tie down my hair, and while I did my makeup, that kind of gave it some time to flatten down, and the results were a lot better than I thought. Now, I did realize after this video that I had a piece sticking out in the back. Oh my gosh, I could just cut it off, but that wasn't the case. I just basically just tucked it back in into the braid, and problem was fixed. So I hope you guys liked my tutorial, because I definitely was impressed with how this outcome came out. I love it. I would definitely try this again. If you guys want to see more videos or need any information, leave a comment, like. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate it. If not, like the videos and come back for some more. Thanks, guys.